Here we are with another Friday Night Live. April, what are we at? 7th today, 2023. Hope everybody's doing amazing. Awesome. We have iPhone 2 here who joined us. Who may that be? Today is a very, very special day for Christians. Today and after tomorrow's Easter's. Good Friday and Easter, the holiest of the holy days. And we've been, I grew up celebrating these days, and wonderful time for to strengthen our connection with the divine and get together with family. Beautiful times. The whole teachings of Christ were just amazing. You know what was accomplished in his life, all the miracles and so on and so forth that were witnessed by many. And this is what a spiritual journey is all about. Christ fasted 40 days in the desert. There's no water in the desert, that we know of. So this is why we call Master fasting the glorified dry fast, right? It's a spiritual, first and foremost, journey, and most people just don't get that. They're looking for the healing of the physical, all their ailments and pain and suffering and diseases that they've been, gifted names and so on and so forth, and enslaved with those names. We're focusing on strengthening our relationship with the divine and allowing our soul to do all the beautiful work in the physical, so we don't have to worry about it. We can focus on strengthening our relationship with the divine creator, God, Allah, whatever name you use in your language. And that's the key, strengthening our relationship with the creator, because this life is temporary. We come here and we're going to leave. We're going to leave this physicality. We're going to return to the realm, the limitless realms, I love to call it, where we came from, where we don't have a physicality, a physical body to deal with, right? It's hard to conceptualize in this realm, but if you just close your eyes and you start meditating and maybe or dreaming or praying, and you see things, think about how you can move in those realms in that state, and that's the similarities that we can put on what it's like to have no physical body, but we have our full consciousness to move at will where we want to go. It's a beautiful thing. And the beauty is beyond anything that we can imagine here. Can't conceptualize it in the physicality. But it's a beautiful thing. Today was day 16 for me. I drank about a cup of tea today. I did a couple days of dry, completely dry, And today I just needed to drink a little bit, and we'll see how I feel in the morning and see what happens and what state I'm in, and if I'm going to carry on or continuously continue to break it. It's always amazing to be in the fasting state. It's just such a pleasant place to be. Those who have experienced the fasting states, you know what we're talking about. Those who haven't, start slowly. As we suggest, that's what we highly, highly, highly recommend. Start slowly, train yourself little by little, and start expanding as the physicality it purges and we clean it out. We can go longer and longer and longer. If we try and be heroes, we're gonna hurt ourselves or go cuckoo when we break our fast. How do we know that? Well, we've seen one too many go down that path, and it's just I don't know why. It's just so happens. Part of the reason is the state of mankind today is far, 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 far away from a spiritual journey lifestyle. How do we know that? Well, they're still killing, stealing, robbing, pillaging the planet, and it continues, and it hasn't no sign of it stopping. So that's why we have all these emotions coming up that we can't deal with, because it's a reflection back. What we put out, we get back. It's a mirror. That's why we say, look in the mirror, and you can see everything. You can see everything. You can't hide by looking into your eyes, into your soul. You can't hide from your truth. And once you realize that if it is to be, it's up to me, then maybe you can make your choice and move down the spiritual path instead of the mammon path. What do they call it? The carnal path, the flesh path. And just about me. We're here to serve our Creator. We're here to serve other mankind. As we're serving mankind, we're serving our Creator as well. Serving nature, being caretakers more so of nature. Instead of pillaging nature, we're the caretakers. If you look at the Aboriginals and from all the continents, they were the caretakers. That's what they called themselves. They never owned anything. They were the caretakers, and they moved along. They never pillaged one area for too long. They would always, be moving, and so they wouldn't do too much damage in an area. They would leave it in a state where it could recover. They had to think about all that, and they did for tens of thousands of years. We're not doing that. We're just choosing an area and building and building and building and building and building, and the cities get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and we keep taking and taking and taking, and there's nothing else to take at one point. It just becomes the concrete jungle, right? We live in these concrete jungles, but fasting lifestyle is it's an interesting lifestyle. If you look at the most popular health sites, are all about food, right? That's the most popular. Fasting, people have interest for a short time until they see it actually takes work and dedication and discipline to live a fasting lifestyle. And today, we don't see much of that anymore, right? Back in the old days, we can go on somebody's word in a handshake. Today, you can't trust the handshake, you can't trust the word, and you can't even trust a signed piece of paper or contract. Courts are full, lawyers are busier than ever. The morgues are full, and the cemeteries are getting fuller. So, what kind of life do we want to live? Peace, balance, correct conduct is the only way for humanity to move forward. And of course, it always starts where? With ourselves, in our homes, in our workplaces, in our social circle. If we can't do it within that realm, how can we expect the rest of humanity to do it? Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So keep looking in the mirror, keep living and loving it, keep choosing to live it and love it, and then we'll start seeing things change. The last 3 years, have been a big, big revelation for mankind of the direction we are heading. And for those who say it's all love and light, okay, well, we can point out many things that it's not all love and light, and we have to come to terms exactly what's going on and make the choices to make the changes, right? Just like we choose to take charge of our health instead of going to the white jackets and say, okay, fix me, and not having any responsibility, putting the responsibility totally on other people, which doesn't work, never did work, and never will work. They can assist us. We can use them for tools, for certain treatments to assist only, because treatments are futile. We've seen it, going through treatments. People are still talking about treatments, and we're in the year 2023. My goodness gracious, have they ever worked? They seem to work for a while until they don't work. Because how can you treat something when it has nothing to do with the root and seed causes? The root and seed causes, and the seed, especially the emotion, is where everything starts. Everything starts in the emotion. Everything. Even if we do not understand it, we don't have the understanding of why it starts in the emotion. Let's say we move into an area where you have toxic spills, companies, and so on and so forth. How can that start in the emotion? Well, there's something in the soul experience that needs to go through that. There's emotion tied to that through our ancestral lineage. We don't know exactly, have a full understanding of it all, but it doesn't matter. We know that we can work and change it, right? Environments dictate outcome, external, internal environments. So what's our environment externally? I live in a city. It's not a massive city. It's just north of Toronto. But it's a big city. It's got 100,000 population now. And it's getting busier and busier. So there's, lots of pollution, lots of cars, and there's industry around. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to make our environments inside our home as best we possibly can. And since there's all this pollution, how do we take care of the pollution in the air? Well, we use ozone. We love ozone. This is what nature uses, right? Nikola Tesla mentioned the ozone generator. Nature uses ozone. Clean up the air. It's a beautiful thing. I've been doing the ozone colonics up until a couple of days ago. Just a beautiful experience. Amazing. People are starting out with ozone, gotta be careful. Breathing it in, for myself. And I can breathe in tons and tons of ozone. I have no issue. Once you get used to it, when I started, it was about the time where I started just before I had my major lung detox. So it could have been part of the reason that triggered it. Could be. I started using the ozone a little bit at a time. And then I got my major lung detox, which lasted, I can't remember, it was like 5-6 weeks. It was a very painful experience, but a beautiful experience. I released gallons of stuff out of my lungs, coughing my brains out every night. During the day, it looked fine. I'd be like this during the day. And then at night, here's the hours of the lungs, and it would start, and it wouldn't stop for 1 to 2 hours every night for all that time. And it was so painful. All the stomach muscles and lungs and ribs were in so much pain from all that coughing. But it was a wonderful experience, because after that, it took a while. It took a couple of months to heal it all up, because it was all very raw. But it felt great after that. What would most people do? Try and seek a way to suppress it, where the body knows exactly what to do. Exactly. You don't have to think about it. Get in the fasting state. Get in your fasting state and allow the process. In an eating state, doesn't happen. Very limited what happens in an eating state. You can't get into the root and seed causes like we do in the fasting state. Just does not happen. That's why we've seen so many miracles in that people master fasting. Things that boggle the mind. How can that be on nothingness? Simple. It's in our inherent design. All the masters, prophets, gurus teach about fasting and have taught about fasting. And we're here to continue to support the master fasting lifestyle, which is a glorified dry fast. Dry fasting is it. It's these vast as the stars. We do everything to support the dry fast. That's all we do. And we'll repeat this over and over and over again. Till one day maybe it sinks in. We do everything to support the dry fasting states. And we're cycling daily. We have a window. We have a 24-hour window every week. We have a 3-day every month. We have our season change, 3 to 5 days for newbies. And for those who've been doing it for a couple of years, you want to get to at least 5-7 days and start working up towards whatever you can. Go as long as you can, safely, prudently. Don't go cuckoo. Every season change, shoot for an extra day, maybe even half a day. Go a little more, a little more, a little more. Sometimes you're going to be able to go 2-3 more days, because you're able, if you're living and loving it, and you're able to purge out some heavy duty obstructions, you're going to be able to go longer. If you're full of gunk, you're not going to be able to do well in dry fast. It's not going to be a pleasant experience when we're full of gunk. Why is that? The obstructions cause what? Imbalances, and imbalances cause what? Cause organs, glands, and everything else not to function the way they're supposed to function. That's why we're in an imbalanced state. So we want to move toward balanced. And how do we do that? Well, we purge and purge and purge. All we focus on in master fasting is what? Purging, so we can have a better dry fasting state experience, so we can get the most out of the dry fasting state. And then we need to what? Break the fast prudently, which is of the utmost importance. And for some reason, we go cuckoo when we start eating, and some of us go way off track and hurt ourselves. That's why we need to train ourselves little by little. What does an athlete do? he doesn't start off in the Olympics. Years of training, years, many years of training. Then finally, they move into whatever, pro whatever, and then they get into the Olympics or whatever. So yeah. Beautiful, beautiful times we have ahead. But we need to change our direction now to peace, balance, correct conduct. We can't wait any longer. Time is running out for Mama Nature. Mama Nature needs help. And let's give her the help it needs. Anybody's got any questions? Now's a great time. What time are we at? 9:20. We always want to have our lifestyle in our consciousness at all times. It's always there, even we put in the background while we're doing things. It's always there. Like I say, there isn't a day since the day I started fasting that hasn't gone by that I don't think about fasting at least once a day. In the 33 plus years, coming up 34 now, there hasn't a day gone by where I don't think about fasting. And that's what I'm talking about, fasting lifestyle. It becomes part of you. It is you. You learn to love the fasting state because of what it does for the soul. It's simply an amazing, amazing tool that's built in inherently in our design to allow the physical, mental, and emotions to balance out. We can take advantage of it or not. We have free will. Free will to choose whatever we want, right, in this life. Free will. And that free will is the reason we see what we see on the planet today. Because of free will. People choose not to live in peace, balance, correct conduct. They choose everything but. People choose to live a lie. I don't have to go into details. People choose to live a lie. And in that lie, they justify it with everything they can, and they push the lawmakers to change laws to support those lies, and so on and so forth. But it's still a lie. Doesn't matter how many man-made laws support it. It's still a lie. So yeah. So I guess we got a quiet day. If there's no questions, we can call it a night. It's Good Friday. We can spend our time meditating, praying. You spend your time doing whatever you like. Spend your time eating. Spend your time fasting. Spend your time keeping busy. In the Southern Hemisphere, some parts of the world, they're already into Thursday. Sorry, Saturday. We're Friday today. They're in the future, and we live in the past. So, we enjoy eating, we love eating, but we love fasting way more. And in the eating, we can make it difficult, which is challenging for many, or we can keep it simple. And mono eating is the simplest way we can eat by far. Nothing comes close to mono eating. Fresh ripe fruit that's in season in your area. Nothing's better than that if it's possible. It's not all possible in all climates. So, and those of us who don't have the climates, we choose the best next thing, which is any ripe fruit that we can get, that we have a liking to. There's nothing wrong with eating cooked, but it's once you get into the cooked, you want more cooked and more cooked and more cooked, because cooked foods are addictive. The animal products are highly addictive. The cheese is the highest addictive. So raw foods are not addictive, really. Durian has kind of an addictive tendency, but it comes and goes. It's a strange fruit. It's an amazing fruit. It does have a drawing property. But the raw foods, they're not addictive. Cooked foods, we eat them, and we want more and more and more. With cooked, you can eat more cooked food, by volume and weight than you can raw food. And if you go to wild food, you're going to be able to eat even less. You'll try and eat as much wild food as cultivated foods, you won't be able to come close. You'll be able to eat it, and you make a salad with wild foods, you won't be able to eat nowhere near as much. It's just the body says it's enough. The energy is completely different in wild foods. Completely different. If you haven't tried it, try it out. Learn about local wild food in your area and go picking. Mostly herbs. They're all herbs. You may, if you're lucky, you may be able to find some wild fruit. Berries and stuff. So, quiet night. We will call it a night and have yourselves a rest of your Good Friday or Saturday or wherever you are, whatever time of day. Live it, love it. Nothing like a fasting state. It's really just a beautiful place to be, and give thanks to our divine creator every day. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on the next call, Wednesday, Facebook Live. We'll see you back in the Facebook group. And ciao for now.